Welcome to part 2 of our series on the PlayStation 3 in 2022. If you missed part 1, we covered selecting a compatible PS3, buying a PS3 in 2022, buying storage and cables, the required software you need for the build, problems I encountered, and how to factory default your PS3, which is recommended. In part 2, we're going to do the official firmware update to 4.88, going to prepare for the exploit, perform the exploit, install the EvilNat 4.88 Release 2 custom firmware, and upgrade the hard drive. The first thing we want to do is create a USB stick with the official firmware on it. Insert a FAT32 formatted USB stick and create a PS3 folder. Within the PS3 folder, create an update folder. It's important to use capitalization, otherwise the PS3 won't recognize it. From here, go to your downloads and get the official firmware, copy it and paste it into that folder. Eject the USB stick. The next step is to do the update on the PS3 itself. Put on the USB flash drive into the leftmost port. Go over to the user interface. Navigate across to system settings. Up to system update. Select update via storage media. Click on OK. Scroll down through the user agreement. You can skip this by pressing right at any time. Select accept. Go down to start and hit X to continue. Sit back and relax and enjoy the show. Next, we want to check our firmware version. So pair the controller, head across to the settings menu, go down to system settings, scroll down to system information, and confirm you're on version 4.88. Now we're going to prepare the browser for the exploit. The first thing you should do is go and ensure that the time's been set. Head over to the browser, load it up. Press the triangle button to bring up the options. Go to Tools, go to Cookies, and Allow. Press the triangle button again, go to Tools, go to JavaScript, and turn to On. Press the triangle button again, go to Tools, go down to Confirm Browser Close, and turn to Off. Press the triangle button again, go to Tools, go down to Home Page and set to Use Blank. Click on OK. Press the triangle button again, go to Tools, go down to Delete Cookies and select Yes. Press the triangle button again, go to Tools, go down to Delete Search History, press Yes. Press the triangle button again, go to Tools, go down to Delete Cache and select Yes. Press the triangle button again, go to Tools, go down to Delete Authentication Information, select Yes, press the circle button to exit the browser, and now ready for the exploit. Load up the browser again, press the select button to enter the address, press the square button to delete about blank, enter ps3exploit.com. Hit the start button, wait for the page to load. Once it's loaded, click on BG Toolset at the top. Go down to Main Site. The JavaScript will take a few seconds to load. The toolkit will take a minute or two to initialize. I've added a timer so you can keep an eye on it. While you're waiting, you might as well add a bookmark. Now the exploit's been initialized, click on Flash Memory Manager. The tool will start downloading. Once loaded, click on Flash Memory. Click on Save Flash Memory. Click on your USB stick. Click on the USB stick, device USB 001, click on Save. This will create a backup of your flash memory for the purposes of having to restore it if you need to do a hardware flash or restore due to corruption. This image can also be checked if you need to. Once finished, click on Close. Click on Flash Memory Patch and load the patch via HTTPS, which will download the patch. With the patch downloaded, click on Close. Click on Flash Memory Patch again. This time click on Apply Loaded Patch. Click on Yes. We'll now apply the exploit to the PlayStation. Select close. We're now ready to reboot the PlayStation in readiness for installation of the custom firmware. The next step is to pair the USB stick for the custom firmware. Take the USB stick out of the PlayStation, put it back into your PC. Open up the folder, go into the USB stick, grab the dump.hex file that was created when you backed up the flash memory and put it somewhere safe. I want to extract the custom firmware image. It's in a RAR file. I use 7-zip for this. Go down to the custom firmware folder, go into the PS3 folder, go into the update folder, and copy the PS3 update.pat. Navigate back to your USB stick, go into the PS3 update folder, and paste over the top of the original firmware. Once that's finished copying, the last thing we want to do is to check the MD5 hash. So go up a level, right click with holding shift, open PowerShell, and use the inbuilt certutil program. So that's certutil, hash file, file name, MD5, this will generate a hash of the file. So now go back into the extracted folder, open md5.txt, and compare the hashes. As you can see in this instance, the hashes are the same, so the file on the actual USB stick is correct. Eject the USB stick, put it back into the PlayStation. Once you're on the PlayStation, navigate across to the settings menu. Up the system update, go to update via storage media. You can see it's now called 4.88.2 webMAN. Click on OK. Push across to the right and accept the end user agreement and go to start. This process has been trimmed down a little bit to make it a bit faster. Generally it takes about 5 to 10 minutes. Once your PlayStation reboots, take note that the logo is now changed to webMAN. From here, scroll across the settings, go down to System Settings, go down to Information. You'll see you're on version 4.88. So a quick tour. So you can see the package manager is now installed, installing the packages. We've also got a custom firmware tools menu, which includes power options, a file manager, which I don't necessarily use, some basic tools, including fan speed, temperature speed, some information tools, Copper tools, PlayStation Network tools, dump tools, and service tools, including check file system and rebuild database, which can be handy at times. Next, we're going to install a hard drive. So the first thing I'm going to do is disconnect the cables, remove the hard disk screw cover, remove the hard disk retention screw, slide the cover off, now remove the hard drive. From here we're going to undo the hard drive screws. Once the screws are out, we're going to remove the hard drive from the caddy. Insert the replacement hard drive. We're back in the screws. Insert it back into the PS3, noting the orientation. Put the cover back on. Reinstall the hard drive retaining screw. Put your USB stick back in. Reconnect the power and HDMI cables. Power on. And connect the controller via USB and press the button. Press start and select to start the process. It'll go through a check. Once again, this has been cut back. Press start and select again. You'll now format the hard drive. Once the hard drive is formatted, it needs to copy the firmware back on there. So it'll ask you to push the PS3 button again. And away it goes. Accept the license agreement. Press the X button. Now install the firmware back onto the hard drive. You could have done the hard drive first, but I find it's just a lot easier to do it at the end. Okay, the PlayStation should now reboot and go back into the initial setup. Quickly go through the initial setup. And okay, now we're ready to go. Well, we've come to the end of the second video and we've got a fair bit done. In the third video we'll install webMAN-MOD and start with PS3.